Good evening, baseball fans. It is November 2nd. It is the day after the Arizona Diamondbacks did not win the World Series. We are sad about it. We are sad. I'm Susie. This is Bourbon and Baseball. I'm joined by Tom over there. And I'm still a little salty. I'm still a little salty that the Texas Rangers won the World Series. If you're new around here, be forewarned. This is your warning. If you have small children, put them away. Put them away. Dang it. Put earmuffs on them. Maybe save this for later or put in earbuds. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just giving you the warning because there will be lots of cussing, probably some sort of inappropriate adult humor, and I don't want to be blamed for your kids asking about the "that's what he said" jokes. Okay, like that's just that's I'm putting the warning out there for you. Okay. Anyhow, so there's your warning. Again, I'm Susie. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball. I'm not drinking bourbon and or any sort of alcohol. I've just got my water in a big jug. I mean, it is water. No, it totally is water. For the folks on the YouTube side, you saw my look. For the audio only side, I don't know. Go look at the YouTube. That's fine. What are you drinking, Tom?
I have Zoa energy drink because I would like them to sponsor me one day because I drink this shit with everything. It's not a coffee, it's not a soda, it's somewhere in the middle. And it doesn't make you jittery or anything like that. It's just decent.
Is it like a sparkling? I almost said cider. Is it like a sparkling, like water, like a sparkling soda?
It's an energy drink. This is a white peach, so it's a peach flavored energy drink. It's not
But is it
like I said.
carbonated?
Oh yeah, there's bubbles.
Okay. Okay. So, my children drink Topo Chico, but they started drinking it when they were,
Yeah.
very little, and they couldn't say Topo Chico, so we just called it fizzy water. So now I can't be an adult and call it what it is. I just call everything fizzy water, and then people just look at me strangely, and then I have to tell the whole story, and then it's even more awkward because they're like, we didn't fucking ask," and I'm all, "Whatever, you get the explanation anyways." Anyhow, so again, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. That is the second time that I've had to say that out loud, because I recorded a podcast earlier today and I had to congratulate them. I still haven't typed it. Still haven't typed it. Because it will always and forever be fuck the Rangers. And if you're a Rangers fan for some reason listening to this, I'm very sorry. Not really, but I can't. I can't. I literally can't. Okay. It's not a thing that I am capable of doing. I'm gonna tip my hat because the bullpen that I thought was gonna implode at some point in time just never imploded. And that just I don't know where y'all are hiding the horseshoe. Maybe just so far up your asses. I don't know. Anyhow, Tom, you said that you didn't watch any of the World Series. Like not any of the games, not like one single inning, right?
Not one damn inning did I watch of the World Series. It was the least watched World Series in recent history because it was the fucking Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. While I think they will be great, they have great young talent. It's not what we wanted. There were not two Titans in the ring, and even I wouldn't even say the Rangers are a Titan. It was just they were the last men standing. So I'll say I did catch the scores on Sports Center. I did see the highlights or low lights or whatever lights you want to call them. But we're fucking Astros fans. We back those Astros up. So we're not watching the Rangers. That's what we're doing.
Okay, but I mean, I was watching for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And that's
That's
fair.
that's so then here so I guess here's my question then. Would you have watched, say, if it was like the New York Yankees versus the Atlanta Braves?
I might have. I mean, it's a little different, right? The Braves, I have a lot of respect for. I think they're a really good team. They've got a lot of talent. I would have watched them beat the Yankees. I would have had, you know what I mean? Like I thought about watching in the sense that you did. Like, all right, We're Diamondbacks fans. And I just couldn't do it. Like, I
Just couldn't
didn't
do
have
it.
any faith. You know what I mean? They were asked to do so much. They'd already like overachieved like 1,000 times over. And it's like, I just felt like I was going to get disappointed. So I didn't allow myself to get disappointed. And I don't sound like Susie today.
That's fair. That's fair because you know what? Like I had tweeted out that I was disappointed that I couldn't watch the Astros play in the World Series. And then I was like, "Oh, look. Diamondbacks just leaving 43 people on base all the time." That's sad. It's like watching the Astros. Like it cool. Cool. Thanks for breaking my heart again. I appreciate that. So I mean, shout out to the Diamondbacks because they did. They overachieved 1.5%. They swept the Brewers. Nobody expecting them to do that. Then everyone's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. The Dodgers will get them." And then they swept the Dodgers. And then they're like, oh, "Okay, well that's fine. There's no way that they're gonna, at that point in time between the Astros and the Rangers, they're absolutely not. Like and I'm all, it's that Jim Carrey meme, like, so you're saying there's a chance, like it's one of those things, right? And so Ketel Marte having a 20 game hit streak, or is it 19? No, I think it's 20 game hit streak. The fact that they didn't play like their brand of baseball until like the last little bit. I just skipped right over the Phillies. Like they just
They didn't exist.
They didn't exist. Good night. Wow, I just went straight over the Phillies. Like they didn't fucking exist. But yeah, like they didn't play their brand of baseball until like the last game of the NLCS, and then really until like game 2 or 3 of the World Series, and I was like, what are we doing? But then you had Gabriel Moreno, rookie catcher sensation that didn't play great in the World Series, but had raked during the regular season, bunted. And I got it because that's their brand of baseball. But what are you doing? Like it's your 3-hole hitter, Torey Lovella. And don't get me wrong, I loved like 98% of like the moves that Torey Lovella made from all Gabriel Moreno bunting, but okay, maybe Nathan Eovaldi again had a freaking horseshoe stuck so far up his ass, like he kept putting guys on, and everybody just kept getting stranded on base. And it was like watching the Astros at home. Just couldn't drive anybody in. They had bases loaded, and Nathan Eovaldi said, "Fuck y'all, watch what I can do." And then Aroldis Chapman in the 8th inning. I was like, there it is, guys. D-backs are coming back. Aroldis Chapman is in. Why? The bullpen that I thought was going to explode at some point in time never fully exploded. The tightrope act that they had been on, they never fell off. Adolis Garcia got hurt. And everyone's like, "Oh, Adolis Garcia is hurt. Now the Rangers aren't going to be good." And then Travis Jankowski, his fucking replacement, comes in and goes, "Fuck y'all. Watch what I can do." Like, really? Travis Jankowski of like, you're just going to go 2 for 4, RBI double, make a ridiculous fucking catch with Marcus Semien, like crossing him up and then just retaining the ball. I'd like to know where the horseshoe was hidden. That's what I need to know. And then I don't want to tip my hat. I'm going to have to tip my hat. 11-0. 11-0. These motherfuckers went 11-0 on the road. And then Josh Spores had the motherfucking audacity to say that they went into hostile territory. Sir, you're the Rangers. Like, the only hostile territory that you were in was like when the Astros fans finally decided to be assholes and boo Adolis Garcia. That is the only time. The only time. Like, you didn't have to go play in Philly. You didn't have to go play in like Boston or New York. Tell me exactly what hostile territory you had to go to. The Rays? You mean to tell me that the Rays were hostile? That the Baltimore Orioles? That was hostile territory? Josh Boers, really? Like, I'm gonna need you to go play in actual hostile territory and then come fucking talk to us. Like, what are you doing, Josh Boers? What are you doing? I don't know.
Susie, have you not heard of the hooligans, the absolute crazy people that patrol Chase Field? I mean, it's a scary place. I've heard
Yeah,
horrible, terrible things about the people there and how ruthless they are as fans.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's snakes alive, man. I just, even when they deserved to be, that's mean. That's mean. I really don't want to be mean, but I got to. I got to. But like, it just, this was a very unsatisfying World Series. Very unsatisfying World Series. But whatever. Congratulations to the Texas motherfucking Rangers winning your first World Series trophy in franchise history. You didn't fuck it up with one strike, although Aroldis Chapman really tried in the eighth. Really tried in the eighth.
I mean, I'm ready for the offseason. I can't wait to see what goes down in the offseason. I do not, you will not catch me do the congratulations. Yeah, nope, not this guy. I guarantee you, when Houston was doing their things, you were getting no love from the city of Arlington or whatever you want to call that area. The Dallas Fort Worth area, Southern Oklahoma. They were not tipping their caps to the Astros at any point in time. So I shall return the favor. And that's why their World Series is one of the least watched World Series in the history of baseball. And
That's fair.
I'm glad that it's over. I'm sorry that you allowed yourself to be hurt again, because I slept so good, not caring what was going to happen there. Like those games could have ended in ties, and I would have been like, all right, whatever, hurry up and get it over with. I'm dying to see where Shohei Ohtani goes. What's the other Japanese? He's a pitcher, right? Yeah, I'm dying to see where he goes to. Let's
Yamamoto.
Yeah,
Yamamoto,
let's get there. Let's get there.
Yeah. We're happy free agency day. Jorge Soler freaking elected free agency. I don't know if I want to sign Jorge Soler.
I gotta
I
ask
gotta
you, are you
I gotta
in
look into
the
him.
are you in the Lourdes Gurriel to the Stros camp? I've seen that a lot on Twitter.
I'm not thoroughly opposed. I'm not fully on the bandwagon though.
That's fair.
If I want anybody from that Diamondbacks team, I want Tommy Pham.
I saw
Bring me
that.
Tommy Pham. Bring me fucking Tommy Pham. Like, we talked about on one of the episodes that this team is kind of missing that swagger, that kind of like that fire, that like that fuck around and find out kind of energy. And Tommy Pham just brings all of that. Like, he by no means is he an elite bat. I'm not trying to sign Tommy Pham for his OPS or his WRC plus or any of the fucking statistics. Okay. I want Tommy Pham in the clubhouse just for the sheer fact that his mentality and the fuck around and find out attitude that he has, like that swagger, I want that back on the Astros. Like, that's what I want. I want Alex Breggy like holding up the four fingers. I need that type of swagger back. That's what I want back. And there's just really nobody on the team that does that now. And I think Tommy Pham would be that guy. And
I mean,
I would love that.
I think that would come at the cost of your beloved Chazzy Fizz. I think he would lose some ABs to him. But I will say this: Tommy Pham probably fights Adolis Garcia if the bench is cleared like they did, like when he went at
Oh yeah.
Maldi.
Oh yeah.
Tommy Pham probably fights him.
Tommy Pham's throwing hands. There are definite fisticuffs there. Now, I do, however, really like him on the D-backs though, because he brings that energy, and I really feel like it's that protective older brother energy over there on the D-backs, right? Because all of them are like 23 and just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, tiny little puppies, and Tommy Pham brings a little bit of that veteran experience and stuff. So I don't know. And if you guys, like Tom, did not watch the World Series in game 4, Tommy Pham went 4 for 4, and his last AB, he was pinch hit for by Jace Peterson. Yeah, exactly. And everyone is talking shit about Torey Lovello. Like, oh my God, Torey, like, what the fuck? How are you doing this? And it came out after the game that Tommy had gone to Torey Lovello and had asked him to give his AB to Jace Peterson, to give Jace Peterson that AB in the World Series so that his friend, his brother, could say that he had a World Series at bat. And Tori's like, "Are you sure? Because you have the chance to go 5 for 5. Like, this is like history in the making. Like, you and Albert Pujols, Tommy Pham are the only like players to go 4 for 4 in the postseason. Like, are you sure about this? Absolutely. Like, team above self. And I like that solidified my Tommy Pham love, and not like in that kind of way, like just in the like Tommy Pham. I will fight for Tommy Pham. Like, I will throw hands. Tommy Pham needs no help with that, but so down, so down. And the fact that that he would even consider doing that, and then B was like, "Oh no, absolutely not. You will not talk shit about Torey Lovello. Like, you want to like come at me. Like, this is on me." And just I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and that just, like I said, solidified my love for Tommy Pham, and the fact that like he's got eye problems, he's got some sort of like ocular degeneration, something or another, and he has to put eye drops like in his eyes so that he can see. Like, what now? And just that makes me love him. That makes me love him even more, because he's like, fuck it, I worked hard. I worked hard for this, and I'm gonna be proud. And I love that. I love the energy that he brings. But yeah, I need to find out why Lourdes Gurriel though is not eligible for a qualifying offer. And did
Probably
you see
because he got traded.
Are they? I thought.
I think that has something to do with it. You lose that when you get traded like that.
Did you see the qualifying offer like amount is raised to like 20 million? I was all, oh, all right then, like 20 million a year. Wow, okay. I think it last year 17.5, 17.5, 18, something like that. Anyways, but yeah, so lots of people becoming free agents, specifically on the Astros. Ryan Stanek, Phil Maton, Hector Neris. Not Hector Neris. Hector Neris technically has a player option that he probably will deny. Martin Maldonado and Michael Brantley are all free agents. Dana Brown came out in a clip and basically said that bullpen help is going to be, like a priority, and whether that comes from within or, where they go out and find somebody. And then basically full on stated that Yainer Diaz will be the starting catcher all of the days. All of the days. Which leads me to my next tiny rant. Did you see the Dusty Baker went on Charles Barkley's podcast called like the Steam Room or something like that? And they basically asked him about, how did you go about choosing retirement, blah, blah, blah. Now, let me say that Dusty Baker, I so wish that he had just retired after the World Series had ended last season. Left on a fucking high note. Like, left with probably 95% of Houston just loving him dearly. As opposed to this. He literally, he said, essentially in not so many words, that one of the reasons he retired is because all these 30-something bloggers and tweeters and reporters were giving him shit. Sir, did do you know why we're giving you shit? Can you see? Can you see? And they're like, "Well," and they're kind of spoiled because we're not 10 games ahead. Motherfucker, we didn't have to be 10 games ahead, but we could have been ahead of what we were at. But no, your stubborn ass had to say, "Nope, we're riding with Maldonado till the day we fucking die," and die we did. Like, just why, Dusty? Why? Like, why? So frustrating. It's the most frustrating thing on the entire planet, because the rest of the interview, if I did not hear that part, and I did not sit through this season of just the most incomprehensible Dusty Baker decisions, motherfucker is the coolest motherfucker on planet Earth. I would have loved to just sit down and shoot the shit with Dusty Baker all day, every day, and talk about anything besides his love affair with Maldi.
I thought you were going to say wine.
Well, and that too, because he could probably school me on wine. That's fine. I'll talk to him about wine. Just, we would have to avoid the Maldonado topic, but everything else we could talk about. Like, Snoop Dogg fucking texted him congratulations on his retirement. Like, sir, what are you doing talking to Snoop? I'm like, are you just drinking wine and getting high with Snoop? Probably. Like, the conversations that would happen with those two in those situations would be fucking hysterical. But and it makes me so much more aggravated with him, because, like, he really is, like, so fucking cool, but you had to go and do all the things, just made me want to rip my hair out. And why, Dusty? Why? Because then I'm mad at myself, because I'm like, dude, motherfucker's, like, cool as shit. Like, he was, like, half the person who invented the high five. Like, how can you be mad at him? Maybe because he sat the one guy that had the highest fucking OPS in Minute Maid Park. And guess where we couldn't fucking score runs? At Minute Maid Park. If you were audio only,
You're missing out.
Go look at the YouTube.
You're missing out.
With my facial expressions, because it's just chef's kiss on top of the whole thing. Dusty Baker, it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. So we have a managerial opening. Do you think Joe Espada will take that job? Do you think that Joe Espada has even been, like, interviewed / offered the job?
I think Joe Espada is the fallback option. It's going to sound horrible. I know for what we as fans know, he's the guy that's been promised the job. However, I just get the feeling that Dana Brown is going to, like, go, look, if my job is going to be tied to this guy, I need to be able to pick the guy. And if he's not absolutely in love with Joe Espada, or something better comes along, that's probably where he's going to look to go. Now, I heard there was a rumor about Ron Washington. I want no part of that. I hope that is not a thing.
No,
But
thank you.
if you wanted to look at, like, Craig Counsell or some of these, not younger managers, but not, incredibly old managers, then I'm here for it. Like, I don't know that I want to go year to year with a manager. I need you to sign somebody that, okay, he's got a 5-year
Right.
plan, like what are we doing? Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know Walt Weiss was a name because his ties to Atlanta, that kind of thing. We'll see. I think it's got to be one of the most attractive jobs out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you would think. You would think. I will be super interested to see if they Brad Osmus is a name also being floated around.
I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that either. And I my husband was like, "Well, you weren't here for Brad Osmus, so you don't have that love affair with Brad Osmus." I'm all, I who says I don't have a love affair with Brad Osmus? Because like he's quite handsome. I'm not saying I just and he just kind of looked at me and I'm all, no, I want no part of Brad Osmus because like he was there with the Tigers and the Angels and a player like literally died on his watch. Like, no, I don't. He's like, well, he wasn't responsible for. I'm all, but it happened. In, like Angels employees like gave him drugs. Literally, like how you gonna? You can't. No, that can't go on under your watch. Like what? No, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Also, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly, which, that's always iffy. It's always iffy. Wasn't there a game where he literally subbed in like a random scrub pitcher to quote unquote start the game to throw at us so that
Yeah.
random scrub pitcher could like get thrown out of the game? Now, there are those that will be like, "Oh, that's just the game placing game." Like, no, thank you. Like, how obvious you gonna make it? Okay, like, no, sir. That's not the business. And I was a little peeved at that. I was like, wait, wasn't he an Astro? And everyone's like, yeah, yeah. I'm all, so like, doesn't that mean that he should doubly not do like, no, apparently not because you know there is no loyalty when you're the manager of an opposing team. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so I will be interested to actually see if there is some sort of like analytically driven GM that will helm the ship, will captain the helm. Helm what's There's a helm in there and a captain and a ship, and I don't know in which order those words go in, guys, cuz words are hard and I don't do any of the shipping things. That's not the correct terms either. Golly, it's been a day, guys. Anyways, um but we give like the old managers like crap, but Bruce Bochy over there apparently was not set in his ways and gave Evan Carter, his rookie, just all the leeway. Like Travis Jankowski, like you did great while Adolis Garcia was hurt. But you know what? Evan Carter's playing out of his mind. He's earned the job. He's gonna be in. Did you know that he was on base? Evan Carter, not Travis Jankowski. Evan Carter played, I don't know what just beeped. 20 postseason games and was on base for all 20 of those. Isn't that I was like, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous and upset that that manager over there was like, rookie, playing well. Let's give him some room. Let's see what he can do. I wish that someone had done that over here on this side. On this side. I'm not salty about it. I'm not. I'm really not salty about it at all. But yeah. Did you see on Twitter someone proposed a three-way trade?
I saw it. I think that was the one you commented on where it moved Framber and it moved Chaz and it moved
Mhm.
uh Presley too, right? Yeah, it was
Presley.
a
Yeah.
wild trade. It would never happen in a million
It
years.
No, no, it wouldn't. But it was really interesting um to just like look at and kind
R-
of like I don't really understand three-way trades to begin with. Every time I'm all, who gets what where? Why? How? So, but so this is what the Astros would get. The Astros would get Colton Cowser, outfielder, catcher Samuel Basallo, left-handed relief pitcher Christopher Sanchez, relief pitcher Gregory Soto, starting pitcher DL Hall, starting pitcher Griff McGarry. So we would get all of those guys from the Orioles. And the Phillies. Orioles and Phillies. I was like trying to remember who went with which team. And then the Phillies would get Chas McCormick. That hurts my heart. John Means, Kendall Graveman, and Alex Pham. And then the Orioles would receive Ryan Presley and Framber Valdez. I am super interested on all of that. Colton Cowser, left-handed bat, just in case anyone was wondering about that. Samuel Basallo, obviously backup catcher. I want to get rid of Kendall Graveman and Rafael Montero's contracts anyhow, but it was just super interesting to me that those were all of the names floated around in a trade, because Framber has been volatile this season. And I don't know if it's going to come out that he was playing on a hurt ankle, or if he was just kind of in his head, or what. But, before the All-Star break, he had like a 2.25 ERA, something. It was very minuscule. And then after the freaking All-Star break, it was not a pretty ERA. It was not a pretty ERA. And we're going to have 94 starting pitchers next season. We're not going to have 94, but we're going to have like 8. And it'll be interesting to see what happens where all those pieces go. I still think Framber will get us the best trade value. I don't actually think they're going to trade Framber, though. And I think they're going to trade like Jose Urquidy or like Luis Garcia. If they trade Luis Garcia, I'm going to be very sad.
I don't think they can trade Luis Garcia because he's not back from Tommy John yet. I don't think you could get fair value for a guy that can't throw the baseball.
That's true, but I want to say it's been done. I don't know by like us, obviously, but like by other teams. I want to say that the Mariners just picked up somebody that just had Tommy John. Don't quote me on that.
But I think with Luis Garcia, if that's something that you feel like, okay, we need to make a move, he's probably the least likely to do it because he's not impacting your rotation. You can make a move with somebody that you need to get out so that he can backfill, that kind of thing. To move him, you still have 6-7 pitchers that you have to deal with. I think you have like 8 without him or something like that.
Well, now I got to name them because JV Framber, CJ, Lance McCullers, Hunter Brown, JP France, Jose Urquidy, Luis Garcia. That's 8, right? It's not a math pod, guys. I know I look Asian, but I'm really not.
You also have Ronel Blanco in there too, who's probably going to run out of options. He went up, down, that kind of thing. I don't know what his deal is, but you may have to figure something out with him as well.
You don't think Ronel Blanco is going to fill in the bullpen?
Could.
I mean, since we're not going to re-sign Ryan Stanek, Phil Maton, or Hector Neris, I'm really sad about Hector Neris.
Why though?
Why am I sad about Hector Neris?
So,
why?
And a lot of people, yeah. Why? I mean, is it because of what he did before, or is it because of the, I guess the guy, the energy that he is? I mean, he's 34, so it's
Yes, Tom.
you're
Yes, Tom.
you're
I
paying.
want to sign him for the vibes. For the
Okay,
vibes. I'm all
okay,
about the
okay,
vibes.
okay. I'm just saying, like from a baseball standpoint, I know a lot of
He's
people
old.
like exactly from that standpoint. It's like, yeah, if you could get him cheap, then you get him cheap. Somebody's probably going to overpay Hector Neris for what he did in Houston, and probably not. And we started to see him, leak a little oil towards the end of the season too. And it's like it could be Montero all over again. So
Yeah. But I'm wondering though if it's I mean, because if I were a better podcast host and more well prepared, I would have how many innings Hector Neris threw.
you wanna?
Because I
I'll get
want to say that both I mean, I'm pretty sure all of the bullpen
Hector
reach
Neris
like
threw
max innings
68 and a third. That's what he
compared
threw
to compared to what last or the 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago. You want season by season?
Well,
Just 1 second.
because I mean, isn't that what they said about Rafael Montero and like why he had issues?
2
Was like
seasons
overuse.
ago in Philly, Neris threw 74 and a third. Last year, or not this past season, but the year before that, it was 65 and a third. So he's been rode hard and put up wit.
Oh, and that is the euphemism. Okay. So then I just okay. Well, yeah, that's
I love the
it's a lot of,
energy.
it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress.
But when you talk about him the way you talk about anybody else, it's probably not a bad thing that we're moving in a different direction than Hector Neris.
Fine. Why you got to kill the vibes in the Astros clubhouse, Tom? Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, and well, and Phil Maton was nails for a long time until he wasn't. And I felt so bad because he was just always placed in situations where he wouldn't thrive. And granted, that's, you're in the bullpen and that's what you got to do. But with runners on, the motherfucker was not good. Like you give him a clean inning and he'll get out of that. But if there's runners on, we're fucked. And it didn't matter. It did not matter. Dusty Baker's like, 6th inning? We need a pitcher? Phil Maton, come on. Did not matter what the situation was or how high leverage it was, who he was facing. Phil Maton, middle reliever. Come on down. And Ryan Stanek, even though everyone's like, oh my gosh, but Ryan Stanek has, the lowest ERA. Yeah, but his whip wasn't great. In case y'all don't know what whip is, not that kind of whip, guys. That it's not a euphemism. It's an abbreviation. Okay, it's walks, hits, innings pitched. Okay, like so basically it was just how many like walks the pitcher allowed. Side note: Ryan Stanek walked a lot of people because, motherfucker was wild. Had a splitter that was nasty, but sometimes didn't have the best control. So I'm sad for Ryan Stanek not to be re-signed because I liked Ryan Stanek as a person. Phil Maton, I don't care about, but I like Hector vibes. I like
Now
Hector
see,
vibes.
Phil was only 30. So if you told me that Hector was only 30, I'd have a different opinion. The fact that he's 34, I'm kind of like, nah. I get it. Pitchers can go, forever and ever and ever, and they can be much older, but I don't know, like to re-sign him, I'm kind of like, go get what's his face from San Diego to be a setup guy, lefty. Used to
If
be,
you even say Josh Hader, I'm
yeah.
gonna end the fucking pod right now. Just fucking end the
Wow.
fucking pod. Are you fucking
Why?
kidding me?
No, I'm
You
not.
you want Josh Hader as a setup guy?
We can fix him.
No, we cannot fix Josh Hader. And Josh Hader,
Look at that hair.
no, absolutely not. No, Josh Hader. Josh Hader is not good on back-to-back days.
Mhm.
Number 1 point. Okay. B, Josh Hader is good for one thing and one thing only, and that is 3 outs in the 9th inning. Don't bring him in the 8th. Don't bring him in the 10th. 9th inning only. And he's going to get you 3 outs and 3 outs only. Don't ask him to get 4. Don't ask him to get 5. He will not be that guy. 3 outs, 9th inning. That is all he will do. They tried. San Diego tried putting him in the 8th. Didn't work. Didn't fucking work. And forget about back-to-back days. No, I do not want Josh Hader, especially with the contract that he will bring. I mean, we're already overpaying freaking Rafael Montero Jr. No, thank you. And Kendall Graveman.
I don't think they're overpaying Kendall Graveman. Do you think they're overpaying Kendall Graveman?
I think so.
Let me look.
And that maybe the how am I trying to say this? Maybe what they're paying him, I don't think he's worth. Maybe that's kind of where I'm trying to go with this. Because since we've gotten him back from the White Sox, he has not been the Kendall Graveman that I remember. And maybe I'm trying to remember Kendall Graveman too fondly. But
what do you think Kendall Graveman makes? Doesn't matter. He's just bad.
No, I'm trying to actually remember. Was it 10?
Lower.
9?
Lower.
No.
He makes $8 million, Susie. He's not bad for $8 million.
Okay. All right.
He's got 1 year left on that contract, and then he's a free agent. Actually, yeah, that's right. Because this is 2020. Yep. 1 year left on that.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Not great, but
not great, but not terrible. And he's 32. Well,
okay.
33. He'll be 33 before the season starts.
All right. We're getting up there. I say that we're getting up there. Like I turned 41 in like 8 days. So,
Shh, we're not. This podcast isn't about us. It's not about us.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyways, so okay, fine, Kendall Graveman, you can stay. Like I have any fucking say in it. Shut up, Susie. You're dumb. I don't know. So, but Ryan Presley is what, 34? Is gonna be 34, or is he actually 34? Because he's getting up there too.
Ryan Presley is 34 and 322 days. So he'll be 35 before the season starts.
Ryan Presley, I don't want to slander your name because you are America's closer, and that makes me sad. But that's not great. That's not a great age to be. It's not a great. I say that I'm fucking decrepit. That's not a great age as a baseball culture.
Do you know what Ryan Presley makes?
$1 million. No, he makes a nice chunk of change.
He does. I think he's worth it. I think he's worth it. But
13?
14.
14. Okay. I was gonna say 13.5. Dang it.
We're close.
Yeah. So
he signed for next year, and then they have a mutual option for 25.
Okay, so then if you love Ryan Presley, cover your ears. This is earmuffs. I also love Ryan Presley. Don't get me wrong. I also love Ryan Presley. I'm not saying this because I don't love Ryan Presley, but I think with this being like the last year, like that Ryan Presley may be traded.
I can't see that.
Ryan Presley may be traded. You don't think Ryan Presley going to probably not?
Why would you trade him when you need bullpen arms? He may get pulled from the closer role. I could see that becoming Brian Abreu's gig. I don't know if he struggled or something. Yeah, if he struggled or something like that. But they're gonna have to go out and get 3 bullpen arms, or at least 2. Say one of those starters becomes a bullpen arm. So Presley's probably gonna live out the life of that contract.
So you think okay, so let's talk about the bullpen then. So then let's go Ronel Blanco will be
Hmm.
bullpen. Does Hunter Brown and or JP France who retains their starting pitcher role and who goes to the bullpen?
I think they duke it out in spring training, and whoever pitches better gets the job, and the other one starts in the pen.
Interesting. I You know what I would like to see though? I would
Then
actually like to
piggyback.
see Yeah, I would like to see Hunter Brown in kind of that swingman role that Christian Javier was 2 seasons ago, and JP France actually, like, the starter. That I think that's what I would like to see. Hunter Brown for, like, 4 innings, 3, 4 innings, and just empty the tank, and then JP France for, like, 3 innings. Yeah, Hunter Brown, 3 innings, JP France, 3 innings, and then 7, 8, 9, however you wanna split it up.
So
Ronel Blanco, Ryan Presley, Hector Neris, Brian Abreu. There you go.
so if you were operating strictly on, you know, age, you're probably spot on. JP France is 28, Hunter's 25. There's probably more wear and tear on JP, which probably means he could probably handle more of the workload than
Mhm.
say Hunter, who they probably need to monitor his innings. Probably still, I
Yeah.
still don't think they want to get him anywhere near 200.
No.
So yeah, I could see it.
So that would be delightful. But does Brandon Bielak get traded?
That's another name. They have so many names, and it's like I almost feel like they have to make a trade if for nothing else to give those guys a shot. You know what I mean? Good faith type stuff where, they did all the things and
Right.
if you're not going to give me the opportunity in Houston, like I
Right.
feel like Seth Martinez, if he's not going to be in the bullpen, you got to trade him cuz all he did was pitch well and then he just got demoted every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really feel like find that man a home, like somebody will want him.
Well,
And
see,
and if
he can go, you know what? I'm talking to Kelsey from Peace Love and Baseball on Sunday, and she has a St. Louis Cardinals. She's a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Do you know who their ace pitcher is right now?
no,
Miles Michaelis.
that's not an ace pitcher.
Exactly. So, like, I'm not
That's
saying
like
Seth Martinez is an ace. I'm just saying Seth Martinez can be like that back end of the rotation pitcher for St. Louis. Like, they need pitchers. They need like innings eaters.
I don't think the Seth
Um,
Martinez would start. I think he's a pen guy, like through and through.
really?
I think
You
so.
don't think that he can be stretched out?
I don't know. I mean, they never tried it. They never tried it when we were hurting for pitching. It wasn't like they
That's
tried
true.
to, how they sent Ronell down, they stretch him out and that sort of
That's
and
true.
Belak too, kind of like got him more innings, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think Seth was always a bullpen arm. So I don't know.
Interesting.
But if you want to send Belak to St. Louis, I'm here for it. For
Belak
that.
for some sort of outfield something because they have a glut of outfield. But
Yeah.
unlike our outfield, their outfield actually does play multiple positions.
Send us one of those catchers that don't work. We'll take one of those catchers, make them back up.
Speaking of catchers, Cesar Salazar. Do you know what Cesar Salazar is doing right now? Well, not right now, but like I don't know, like 4 hours ago. He
Playing
was,
or hitting somewhere.
yeah, he Nogales Roadrunners.
Hey, that's cool.
So, do you think that we sign a backup catcher? Or do you think it's gonna be Cesar Salazar, just like the
I think they signed somebody just because of what Dana Brown said today in his press conference. He spoke to it. Maybe they don't feel that they want to go into the season without a guy with some, experience, because that would be two guys that are really, really young. So I imagine they go and get, a journeyman catcher from somewhere, you know.
So a couple of names that were floated around in some group chats. Mitch Garver,
Love it. Bring them.
backup catcher,
Sure.
obviously can DH because that's what he was for the Texas Rangers. And played a little first. So, we love Jose Abreu. We do, but maybe Jose Abreu with some off time, maybe not
Yeah.
always playing first base, would yield a better, less tired Jose Abreu. More
He's
power.
36 or will
Yeah.
be 37. So yeah.
So, that I was like, that's not a bad idea. Like Mitch Garver. Because he was batting fifth in their lineup? Fifth, yeah. That was a name that was floated, but I don't think that the Rangers will let him go. I think that they will figure out some way to retain him, as the backup to Jonah Heim. Austin Hedges, however, come on down. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a hell of a cheerleader.
He is. He reminds me of Garrett Stubbs, like a bigger Garrett Stubbs. Yeah. So, yeah. But okay, guys, I'm gonna end the podcast. I'm tired. My brain kind of hurts. It's been a long day. I'm still real salty that the Texas Rangers are the freaking World Series champions. There's gonna be lots of off-season content. I say lots. Lots is relative. There's gonna be off-season content. How long? How often? I don't know. Not a euphemism. Actual stats there. Tom, I appreciate you coming on, helping me record. Tell the peoples where they can find you.
On Twitter at Third Coast Tom. We don't call it X. We're not going to. We're not even going to change the bird on the little logo thing here.
Nope.
It's always going to be Twitter for us.
Yes.
The PSF app. We are still doing things in the PSF app for all you Astros fans.
Not just me. I'm not doing anything. Tom's doing the footballs.
Susie's going to be a fan. She just doesn't know it yet. We're going to have Susie as a fan. Football's in full swing. The Texans, they're really young, really promising. Basketball just got started. I mean, if you're not a Houston person through and through, if you like the Cowboys or if you like Mike and like the Buccaneers for some odd reason, I don't know, they have a room for you. You can go in there. You can check all that out. They've got great media casters that will have you feeling just like the Astros room, only not as good because we're the best.
Obviously. Side note, though.
Go ahead.
There is a room for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
you won't catch me there.
It's a team of 3 females, and the room is called She Wants the D. And
she loves that.
I died laughing, and for half a second was like, do I become a Dallas Cowboy fan just so that I can like hang out with these 3 women? Because obviously like we would get along and it would be hysterical. But then I was like, I don't think I can. But the fact that they named that like their group, She Wants to D, hats off. Ma'ams. I don't know you. At some point in time, I will have to like just give you that compliment. I will have to like slide into your DMs and give you that compliment because chef's kiss. That's a fucking good ass name. Love that. But yeah, so if you like Tom said, if you are a fan of pretty much any team of any sport, they're gonna have a room and media casters for you to hang out with and talk that certain sport, like not like frisbee golf. I don't think there's frisbee golf or like
There's hockey though. I mean,
there's
it's really all the major sports are going to have something for you. There's also rooms in there if you're not trying to do sports thing. There's stuff for gamers. There's stuff for movie critics. There's just a lot going on the PSF app. I really, really, really would tell you to go check it out and just see what you like.
Yep. So go follow Tom on Twitter, Third Coast Tom. Go download the PSF app. And then next season, hopefully I will still be there. We will still be there doing games. Go, Tom, who's your counterpart for the Texans?
His name is James Roy, and he's
James
at
Roy.
N1 Texan on Twitter. I think our we have a podcast like this called The Bullpen. It's on YouTube. At N1 Texan will get you there too. That's his thing for all his socials. I had to be weird and mess mine up here, there, and everywhere. I really don't use the other ones. Twitter's where you're gonna find me.
Yeah. So if you are football, basketball, any of the things, they have the rooms. Go find Tom. Tom will direct you to any of the other rooms. If you want to stay here, talk about baseball, I will be here all season long. I am reading a book. I'm reading a book about baseball because I am a sick individual and apparently I can't get enough baseball. Do you know why they call it a southpaw? Tom, this is one of the chapters in this book that I learned.
No, go ahead.
It was it had to do with like the north, the west and east plane and like the release of, I was like, bro, 1950s people, like this is what you came up with. And so I was like, oh, all right, like great. North and east and west and the release point because it came from that like lower angle. And I'm all, that's all right then. So
As a
southpaw.
southpaw, it's good to know.
Southpaw. Yeah. And apparently there's like a really cool story about one of the radio broadcasters and like the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going to save that story for a later date though, because I've already rambled on enough. And with that, I will say goodnight and yay baseball. Hooray. I'm going to end this recording. Maybe.